Okay, guys, we're going to start what's called scale drawings. So this one, where it says scale drawing, that's using proportional relationships with two-dimensional drawings of an object. When you have scale models, that's when it's a 3D model of an object. And the scale, that gives the ratio that compares the measurements of the drawing or model with the actual measurements. So down here, you'll see the scale factor, like 1 inch is 10 miles. You usually see those on maps and things. I just got done teaching this with my 6th graders. So you definitely had this last year. You probably already had something similar to this in 7th grade. I'm not quite sure though. So here we have an example. You have a map and the scale is over here and it says 1 centimeter is 50 miles. So what is the actual distance between Cadillac and Detroit? Well, the measurement is 3.5 centimeters. So we set up a ratio of 1 centimeter is equal to 50 miles because that's our map scale. So then we set that equal to 3.5 centimeters over d miles because we're trying to find the distance. Distance is what we're solving for. So in order to do that, we're going to cross multiply. So we took 1 centimeter times d miles to get 1d. And then 50 miles times 3.5 centimeters. Over here you can see we multiplied that. And it comes out to be 175 miles. Then part B here says, what is the actual distance between Traverse City and Marquette? So if you look here, here's Traverse City. Marquette is up here. That distance, that measurement there is 3 centimeters. So again, we used our ratio of 1 centimeter to 50 miles. We set that proportion equal to 3 centimeters over d miles because again, we're solving for the actual distance. So we cross multiplied 1 centimeter times d miles equals d. 50 times 3 centimeters is 150 miles. So just use cross multiplication and we came up with 150 miles apart on that map. Okay, so now we have a 3D model here. So the liquid outer core of the Earth is 2,300 kilometers thick. The scale model of the layers of the Earth has a scale of 1 inch to 500 kilometers. How thick are the layers of the outer core of the model? So we're finding the thickness here. So we're looking for a distance, right? So I'm going to set this up as a proportion. So our scale is 1 inch is 500 kilometers. I'm going to set that proportion equal to x inches over 2,300 kilometers. So again, I'm going to cross multiply like we did on that previous slide. So 1 times 2,300 is going to be 2,300. I'm going to set that equal to 500 kilometers times x is going to be 500x. To isolate x, we would have to divide by 500 on both sides to get 4 6/10 inches equals x. Okay, so it would be 4 6/10 inches. Then it says the mantle of the Earth is 2,900 kilometers thick. How thick is the mantle on the model? Well, again, I'm going to use that scale factor of 1 inch is 500 kilometers. I'm going to set that equal to, I'm solving for the thickness of the model. So again, the model is on top here, the actual is on the bottom. So you might want to put those words there to help you keep your ratio straight with your proportions so you don't mix those up. So then my 2,900 will go out for my denominator. I'm solving for my numerator. I'm going to cross multiply 500x equals 2,900 divide by 500 on both sides to isolate for x. I'm going to get x is equal to 5 8/10 inches. So I tell my classes that in order not to mix up what numbers should be for your numerator denominator, you might want to label like model, actual, then list. You know, the 1 inch went with the model. The 500 kilometers is what the scale factor. Okay. All right, here we have the looks like the Washington Monument over there, but I guess it's Sergeant Floyd. A scale model of Sergeant Floyd Monument is 10 inches tall. The actual, see, so we're dealing with a scale model and an actual, is 100 feet tall. What is the scale of the model? What is the scale factor of the model? Okay, so we have the model height. We have the actual. Okay, so the model height is 10 inches. The actual is 100 feet from this problem. 10 inches, the actual is 100 feet. They want the scale factor. Well, we can reduce that to simplest form here because 10 divided by 10 is 1 and 10 divided by 100 is 10. So right now that's 1 inch to 10 feet. But we would prefer these to be in the same unit here. So what we're going to do is then take that 10 feet and multiply 10 by 12 because there's 12 inches in a foot to get that to be 120 inches. So then our units are the same. So it's going to be 1 inch to 120 inches for our scale factor, if that makes sense. Okay? So this would be the scale of the model, and this would be our scale factor. A drawing has a scale of 1 millimeter to 20 centimeters. What is the scale factor of the model? So the scale factor, we're going to put that in the same unit. So I use, usually with my classes, King, Henry, died, Monday, drinking, chocolate, milk. So I'm here at centimeters because I'm at 1 millimeter is 20 centimeters. And I want to take my 20 centimeters and turn that to millimeters. So I would put my decimal point here and move it one place to the right. So I'm going to go to 20, one place to the right. That would be 200. So it's going to become 1 to 200 for my scale factor. Here's a word problem for you. So a tree is 72 feet tall and has a shadow that is 12 feet long. A nearby tree has a shadow of 5 feet. How tall is the tree? Okay, so I'm just going to set up a proportion here. So I'm going to say tree to shadow, because those are the two things we're talking about. Okay, so a tree is 12 feet tall, and its shadow, it's 72 feet tall. It's 72 feet tall, and its shadow is 12 feet. Okay, and then another nearby tree is 5 feet tall. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Its shadow is 5 feet tall. Get it together, Eccles. Jeez. 5 feet tall. So we're trying to figure out how tall the other tree is. I don't know. So that's my one I'm going to solve for. So I'm going to cross multiply. Okay. So I'm going to say 12 times x is 12x. And I'm going to say 72 times 5 is 360. So that's going to be 360 is equal to 12x. Then I'll have to divide by 12 on both sides to isolate x, and I'm going to get 30 is equal to x. So the other tree would be 30 feet tall. Okay, so that's how I could use a proportion to solve for that. Okay, I hope that was a good video to help you learn scale factors. They very much go with the proportions that you've already been taught. Just set up in words and then the numbers that go with the words to figure out, cross multiply and solve for x, and you should be good to go. Okay, thanks guys.